What up, everybody? Hope everybody is good and getting a chance to travel as a lot of the prices are going back up. I put together a few clips of my times in Ipanema. You'll see different things from the streets to the beach. But first, enjoy these views from the approach into SDU Airport. As I've said before, I try to fly into SDU, which is the domestic airport, and you see the bird's eye view of some of the places I'm about to spend time at. Coming from another country, you'll have to fly into another city in Brazil first, compared to flying directly into GIG, which is the international airport. I personally don't care since I love flying anyway, even if it's an extra $50 or whatever dollars. It might be even cheaper. I'm not a backpacker bragging about how cheap it was at night to stay in a little hostel, or how I found the city bus that only cost $1 for a bumpy 2-hour ride from the airport. I don't travel unless I leave with enough money to do everything I want to do. To each his own though. Just don't be that person that blows their money in the first 2 nights party and then calling back home trying to get some money sent to you. Ipanema is a neighborhood in the south zone of the city of Rio de Janeiro, which is the capital of the state of Rio de Janeiro, not the capital of the country. It's in between the neighborhoods of Leblon and Copacabana. But first thing, I always start the day off with a good breakfast.
So when I'm in Brazil, or just other countries period, I can never find the sausages that I'm used to eating. So I had to bring my own on the plane. And now these the last of them. Now I'm going to have to eat like hot dogs and they're going to call them sausages. I'm like, that's not a damn sausage, that's a hot dog. But at least they got eggs and cheese. And this is French toast. I don't know how, but they call it French toast.
That's called Two Brothers Mountains, or as it's pronounced in Brazilian Portuguese, Dois Irmãos Montanha. And this is Ipanema Beach during the height of the pandemic, when people were looking at me like I was crazy, telling me I should wait, be careful. Brazil has the second highest amount of cases. Meanwhile, I'm coming from a country with the most cases, so wasn't I going to a safer place? But anyway, you had people swimming, taking pictures, drinking, eating, playing volleyball, although they use their feet instead of their hands. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between Ipanema and Copacabana, just in case you're only familiar with Copacabana. Ipanema is the newer neighborhood with less history than Copacabana, so the buildings tend to be a lot more modern for the most part, and it has less people in the streets asking for money or just sleeping on the sidewalk. They both have a lot of restaurants. You'll find higher end type of stores to shop at in Ipanema. And Ipanema has less of a nightlife, so it's more quiet at night, which is good depending on what you're looking for. Sometimes I want to run outside and just get something quick from a bodega or a stand, but you can't do that like you can in Copacabana because in Ipanema, they all closed. And this is Copacabana here. Look at the buildings. You can compare and see the difference from the buildings in Ipanema. Side note, be aware when you stay in Copacabana, since most of the buildings are old, there's usually some type of construction going on. So you hear jackhammers, drilling, construction crews yelling, and hopefully it's not in the apartment next door. That's just something most YouTubers and commercials never talked about, so I didn't know, but some people don't even care and it's fine. Some people want peace and quiet. Maybe it makes it hard to put a baby to sleep, who knows, but I'm here to give information and not just make everything sound nice and pretty, and that's something I never hear, so I figured it'd be a good tip for somebody. When it comes to transportation, you have the motorcycle taxis, or moto taxis as they call it in Brazil. They're able to weave in and out of traffic and get to places faster. The more people you have, the more bikes you'll need, obviously. If you're with a group, you still have taxis and Ubers. I don't see the purpose of taking a taxi when you have an Uber, which is cheaper and safer, being that you have the driver's info. The only times I really take a taxi is if I'm on the street and just want to flag one down and go a few blocks. You also have the subway, which they call the metro. Some people don't even realize Rio has a subway system, or they're used to hearing negative things about the New York City subway, so they don't even try to take it, but it's safe. I haven't heard any horror stories. It's cheaper than the Uber, and buying the ticket is easy. Depending on the time that you take it, it'll come often, like during rush hour times when it also is going to be crowded. Or you might take it later in the evening and have to wait a while. It all depends on when you get there compared to the schedule. You might get lucky. It was never a long wait to where I regretted taking it. If it's late night, I check on the times and make sure your stop is even open. Now let's go check out a few different things on the streets of Ipanema. The name of this park here is called Praça Nossa Senhora de Paz, which means Our Lady of Peace Square. You can do everyday things like bring your kid to play, walk your dog, or just chill. Don't have a gym membership? Come to the park, work out for free. This plaza, or square as they like to call it, is called Praça General Osario, which is General Osario Square. And it's more of an actual plaza where people sell things and they may have different functions going on. It's not far from the other plaza and they both have a subway station. I went to that bar Shenanigans a couple of times before it was shut down due to all the lockdowns. And here is a place I like to get breakfast called Big Nectar. For the breakfast things that I like to eat, I had to find certain spots and repeatedly go to them if I wanted something more than pastries, which is normal in Brazil. They also have lunch and dinner food. Here's the lunch menu. They have chicken, salmon, steaks, fruits, and more. You can Google and convert those Brazilian real prices into whatever your currency is.
Alright, so we at the barbershop in Ipanema, and what bugged me out is they got liquor in the barbershop. Like, look at this. It's crazy. What up, what up, what up? You get your hair cut and get a sip while you in here. That's crazy, but that's what's up. We need to have that in the United States. Alright. Obrigado. Ciao. Crazy. What up? I got a little bit of everything to eat. Check it out. We got the buffet in Ipanema. Like I said, I got a little bit of everything to eat. Some of the stuff I don't even know what it is, but as long as it looked good, I was with it.
What's good with it?
Oh yeah, it was good with it. Got some chicken, some fries, some spaghettis, salmon, and rice with the, don't tell me the, what's it called? The powder?
Farofa.
Farofa. And I don't even know what everything else is, but you know how to get my Stella, or as they call it, Estela. It's a nice little restaurant. I can see myself coming back.
Daquele moleque lá, elas foram mais na ideia dele. 7, mano, pra mina tirou o quê? R$560 ali cada uma. Isso, mano, explica isso. É 7 horas, R$80 cada uma.
This is another food spot that was good called Cozinha Ipanema. I like to highlight the nice spots to help you save time if you can't find something. I'm giving you the names so you can look them up online and get the addresses.
It's a random suburban street in Ipanema. Show you what the buildings look like. The residential buildings, little bike paths. Look at that mountain in the background. The Two Brothers Mountains. People are always taking pictures of that. Like, imagine seeing that every day. It's like it just helps your soul just to see a good view like that every day and see the ocean and the waves. And that's your sound when you wake up in the morning. Why wouldn't somebody want to stay and live out here?
Okay, let's go to the beach. This is Avenue Vieira Soto, the main strip along the beach. They have nice kiosks where you can get something to drink, something to eat, and of course the bike path. You see a lot of people jogging, working out, and of course playing volleyball on the beach, a again, with their feet. It'll bug you out if you never heard about it. You see the modern buildings that have wraparound balconies. And this little canal area is the borderline of Ipanema and Leblon. If you didn't know, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. They are similar type of areas. Now we're going to go to the beach and the opposite side of Ipanema Beach. Welcome to Ipanema Beach. You see the clear water, nice waves, beautiful views. This is not even a crowded day. Like, I like it like that sometimes because you can sit where you want to sit. You don't have to wait long if you order food or a drink. I also like it crowded though. I just know what to expect and I might bring my own beer. This was in the evening, so I'm sure it was more crowded than this during the day just because it was hot out. And people are damn near naked when they come to the beach, regardless of their body size, type, or age. And they don't get all uptight like some people in the States, thinking people should cover up because of kids or they should follow society's rules, which I can't stand. Or they're really just jealous. You are going to see that beautiful girl that you want to stare at, or for the women, you'll see the men in them little Speedos. I am never wearing those. So if you get offended at stuff like that, don't even come, seriously. And I'm not about to start filming the sand or zigzagging the camera around to avoid filming what's normal, so if you don't like seeing it in my videos of Brazil, I don't know what to tell you. This is Arpoador. Some call this Arpoador Rock. It's the region in between Ipanema and Copacabana that sits on a peninsula. It has some of the best views. You see the Two Brothers Mountains there splitting up a cloud. You have to walk up whatever path you find and it can be slippery with the sand, so be very careful and walk slowly. You should be able to follow the crowd and just do what everybody else is doing. You'll see people surfing, jumping off of cliffs into the ocean, and of course taking pictures to post on social media. It's more of a region or a section that people come to. It's not a separate town or anything. A lot of surfers come to this region for the waves it creates, and a lot of people come to watch the sunset. People walking around selling beers and little snacks. I know a lot of people come to Rio just to party, and that's cool, but you are missing out on so much. You come from another country and never actually experienced the country that you're in. It's more than just sitting on the beach all day. It's more than good steaks to eat. It's more than the same places that men go for women. All of that stuff is cool, but some people stick to one thing and go home when there's so much more to see and do. Here I'm just filming the making of a caipirinha while I wait for mine. Most of you at least heard of a caipirinha, but in case you haven't, it's the national Brazilian drink. It's made with lime, sugar, and cachaça, which is similar to a rum. That would be the best way to describe it. They put a lot of sugar in it, like worry about diabetes type of sugar, so if you don't want that, let them know up front to be light on the sugar. That's the basic ingredients, but you can always substitute it with different things. Like I said, he has lemons, oranges, pineapples, and I think those are strawberries in the container. You won't get this selection everywhere, but he's on the street, so he can do whatever he wants.
You might say. Como hortelã. Meu.
Usually on a nice weekend, people will stay out longer. You'll still see people selling bracelets and different souvenirs and things. The food carts will be out. But be aware, most of them are selling food that's heavy on sugar and cheese. So if you like to eat healthy, you're gonna have to go to a restaurant. My local friends there will sometimes look at me like, what's wrong with you? Why are you not eating this delicious bread filled with cheese and sugar? I'm not the healthiest eater, but I'd rather have an actual meal with some meat, something to fill me up.
They got some good burgers apparently. I'm just getting a chicken sandwich because I don't like to eat too much red meat. But chicken sandwich was banging the other day and the french fries was banging, so we had to come back. My boy Obi about to get the cheeseburger. He said he gonna get back in the gym, but we'll see.
You gotta get all the sand off your feet. You wanna be tracking sand around the apartment. It'll feel good too. Okay, I didn't want to have to tell you this part, but in giving you all the real information, which is what I do, and not just sugarcoat everything, I have to mention the petty thefts that go on at Ipanema Beach. I used to wonder why it's mostly Ipanema Beach and was told by a local that the criminals look at it like that's where the rich people are. On Sundays, it seems like that's when the criminals, usually young people, come out in droves and target everybody, not just tourists. It's like their whole hood comes out and do quick snatching runs. You'll see the guys in yellow shirts with these big giant sticks that they use to hit the thieves if they could even catch them. And it's so dumb because what is one cell phone or camera gonna do for your group? The police just stay on the street side, maybe because they don't want guns on the beach. The thieves' friends and families will follow them being arrested and just stand there looking. It's weird. And to the people who visit there, if you don't start listening to this advice from myself and countless other YouTubers who have warned you about bringing things to the beach, I almost want to say you deserve it. This is not the United States or Europe. Nobody cares about your expensive jewelry, bags, or cars. You do not have to impress these people. You're just looked at as a target that's trying to show off. If you just have to bring this stuff on your vacation, at least leave it in the room when you go to the beach. The only thing you need is a few dollars to pay for an umbrella, chairs, food, things like that. And maybe a cell phone for pictures or to call somebody if they're not the person that's already there with you. You'll have a much better ride back to the airport with nothing but good memories and stories to tell about the food, the beaches, and all of the culture of Rio. On the way out, as you watch these unmatchable views, I want to give a special thanks to everybody that got this far because most people on YouTube just go through watching 20 seconds of a million videos and never get any real value from anything. If you like the content, I'm going to ask you to do something that is extremely difficult. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Peace out.